Amina sits at the riverbank during the golden hour, the soft sunlight reflecting on the river. In the distance, an ethereal shimmer rises from the water, hinting at the mystical presence of Mami Water beneath the surface. The scene captures a moment of quiet magic, with the village visible in the background. Amina kneels at the river's edge as the figure of Mami Water rises slowly from the water, her body half submerged, eyes looking onto Amina. The water around Mami Water glows faintly in the fading light of the setting sun. Amina sits at a wooden table in her grandmother's hut, the older woman leaning in, her expression grave as she warns Amina of the dangers of engaging with Mami Water. Outside the hut, the river glimmers mysteriously in the distance. Amina stands at the edge of the river at dusk, her eyes fixed on the water. The villagers in the background are distant, watching her with suspicion as she lingers near the river, which glows faintly in the moonlight. Under the full moon, Amina stands by the river, the water reflecting the moonlight. Mami Water emerges fully, her glowing form rising from the river as they lock eyes. The river glows softly, casting an ethereal light around them, creating an atmosphere of tension and wonder. Mami Water sits regally on a rock in the middle of the river, offering a shimmering necklace made of glowing pearls and scales to Amina. The moonlight reflects on the water as Amina stands at the riverbank, her hand hovering, unsure whether to accept. Amina stands near the center of the village, her skin glowing faintly under the sunlight as villagers whisper and cast wary glances at her. Her hands brush the necklace at her neck as she contemplates its weight. Inside a darkened hut, Nana the healer leans close to Amina, offering her a charm and urging her to remove the necklace. Amina's expression is conflicted, her hand gripping the necklace tightly as a faint glow emits from it, filling the small space. Amina lies in bed, her skin shimmering as she dreams of herself swimming to the depths of the river, surrounded by glowing aquatic creatures and the soft light of Mami Water's realm. Her brow furrows as she dreams of the beauty and danger of this otherworldly place. Amina walks through the village, her eyes distant and glowing faintly, her appearance more ethereal. The villagers keep their distance, whispering among themselves, their expressions filled with suspicion and fear as she moves gracefully through the path leading to the river. Amina stands at the river's edge, her reflection distorted in the water as Mami Water's glowing eyes appear beneath the surface, watching her. The moonlight casts an eerie glow on the scene, heightening the tension. Amina stands before the village elders in a dimly lit meeting hut, her expression filled with desperation as she tries to convince them of her innocence. The elders sit in judgment, their faces stern as the village gathers outside, illuminated by torchlight. At the riverbank, Nana leads the village in a ceremonial offering to Mami Water. The villagers kneel, eyes closed, as a faint shimmer rises from the river. Amina stands at the water's edge, her hand over the glowing necklace, watching as Mami Water's form begins to appear beneath the surface. Mami Water rises from the river, towering over the village as her glowing form illuminates the surrounding area. Amina stands at the center, caught between the spirit and the villagers, her hand resting over the necklace as Mami Water declares Amina as her chosen one. Amina walks through the village, her skin glowing faintly under the setting sun. The villagers avoid her path, whispering in hushed tones. In the background, the river gleams under the soft light, its presence a constant reminder of her connection to Mami Water. Amina stares at her glowing hands, her skin shimmering under the moonlight as Nana stands nearby, watching with concern. The river behind them reflects the faint glow of Mami Water's presence, creating an otherworldly scene filled with tension. At the riverbank, Amina confronts Mami Water, her body radiating a soft glow as she stands her ground. Mami Water rises from the water, her eyes gleaming with anger, the river churning around her, creating an intense and dramatic confrontation scene. Amina, glowing with the energy of the pearl in her hand, stands at the riverbank as Mami Water watches her from the water. The river glows with an ethereal light, and the tension between them is palpable, the power of the pearl shimmering in Amina's hand. Amina swims deeper into the river, the sacred pearl glowing in her hand as glowing-eyed guardians circle her menacingly. The underwater world is filled with strange plants and creatures, creating an otherworldly and suspenseful atmosphere. Amina swims toward a dark underwater cavern, the soft glow of the pearl illuminating her path as strange bioluminescent plants cast eerie light on the cavern's jagged entrance. Amina stands at the entrance of the cavern, facing a swirling wall of dark shadows. Her hand grips the glowing pearl, casting light onto the murky water as the shadows whisper, warning her to turn back. Her expression shows hesitation but also determination to press on. Amina stands amid a treasure trove of glowing gold and shimmering jewels, their allure reflected in the soft light of the pearl. Her eyes remain steady, resisting the temptation as she turns her back on the wealth and walks away, her glowing form casting shadows on the treasure behind her. In a softly lit underwater chamber, Amina stands face to face with a glowing reflection of herself. The reflection, beautiful and filled with power, extends its hand as if offering Amina the chance to embrace her power. Amina's eyes reflect her internal struggle, but she steps away, choosing her path of freedom over power. Amina kneels in front of the sacred pearl, the glowing orb illuminating the surrounding coral in soft, radiant light. Her hands hover over the pearl, her expression filled with a mixture of awe and fear as she prepares to take it, knowing the power it holds. Amina swims toward the surface, clutching the glowing pearl in her hand, the water swirling violently around her. Below, the river's guardians chase her, their glowing eyes cutting through the darkness as they close in. The surface of the river glimmers faintly in the distance, her last hope of escape. Amina lies on the riverbank, her body drenched and trembling, the glowing pearl clutched tightly in her hand. The river behind her is calm once more, its surface reflecting the moonlight, as Amina catches her breath after her daring escape from the depths. Amina stands at the edge of the river, holding the glowing pearl as Mami Water rises from the water, her eyes gleaming with both fury and curiosity. The river glows faintly in the background as Amina faces the spirit, the tension between them palpable. Amina stands firm, holding the glowing pearl in her hand, refusing to give it to Mami Water. The river behind the spirit churns violently as Mami Water's form grows larger, her glowing eyes filled with anger, the storm building in the background as the confrontation intensifies. Amina stands defiantly at the edge of the river, her form glowing as Mami Water's once powerful presence begins to waver. The storm around them slows, the river calming slightly as Mami Water's expression shifts from anger to sorrow, her glowing eyes dimming as she listens to Amina's plea for peace. The river glows softly as Amina reaches out toward Mami Water, her expression filled with quiet determination. Mami Water, her form shimmering and fading, gazes at the river with sorrow, her once powerful presence reduced to a faint glow as she considers Amina's words of freedom and release. Amina kneels at the riverbank, her glowing hand gently lowering the sacred pearl back into the water. As the pearl touches the surface, the river begins to glow with a soft, radiant light, the energy of the river flowing freely once again, illuminating the surrounding trees and land. Mami Water's form shimmers in the moonlight, growing more transparent as she watches the river reclaim its heart. Amina stands by the water's edge, her expression filled with peace and understanding as Mami Water fades into the river, leaving behind only the soft glow of the river's renewed life. Amina stands at the riverbank, her glowing form now more subdued, her expression filled with quiet reflection as she gazes at the calm, gently flowing water. The river glows softly in the moonlight, a peaceful reminder of the balance restored between the spirit world and nature. Amina stands at the center of the village, her presence serene and natural, the faint glow from the river reflecting in her eyes. The villagers gather around her, their expressions filled with respect and gratitude as they look toward the river in reverence. Amina and Nana sit side by side at the riverbank, their expressions filled with peace and quiet wisdom as they watch the river flow freely. The water glows softly, casting a warm, ethereal light over the scene as they reflect on the journey that has brought them here. Amina stands beside the young boy at the riverbank, her expression calm and peaceful as the boy gazes in awe at the softly glowing water. The river flows gently before them, its surface shimmering in the sunlight, creating a serene and harmonious scene. Amina and the boy stand on a rocky shore, their expressions filled with awe as they gaze out at the vast open sea. The waves crash against the rocks, sending spray into the air, while the golden glow of the setting sun reflects on the water's surface, hinting at the power and mystery of the sea spirit. Amina stands on the edge of the shore, her clothes billowing in the wind as the waves crash against the rocks. In the distance, the faint silhouette of the sea spirit rises from the water, its glowing eyes watching her closely as the wind and waves intensify, creating a dramatic stormy scene. Waist deep in the ocean, Amina faces the towering form of the sea spirit, whose massive figure rises from the water, casting shadows on the waves. The spirit's glowing eyes are filled with curiosity and challenge as Amina stands firm, her clothes and hair swirling in the water's powerful currents. Amina swims through a glowing, vibrant underwater world, her body illuminated by the soft light of bioluminescent fish and coral. The depths of the ocean stretch far below, with towering underwater caves looming in the distance, creating a breathtaking scene filled with wonder and mystery. Amina swims through the ocean's depths, the glowing fish parting as she moves deeper into the unknown. The sea spirit's guardians, large and majestic, circle her slowly, their glowing eyes fixed on her as she navigates the treacherous waters toward the heart of the sea. Amina hovers in the water as massive whirlpools and geysers of steam erupt around her. The water churns violently, but Amina remains focused and calm, navigating the sea's trials with grace as glowing sea creatures dart through the chaos, creating a visually stunning and intense scene. Amina steps out of the ocean onto the rocky shore, holding a beautiful, glowing seashell in her hand, the sea spirit's gift. The distant figure of the sea spirit watches her from beneath the waves, the glowing waters casting an ethereal light over the scene as the ocean's power seems to hum in the air around them. Amina stands on the shore with the glowing seashell in her hand, the ocean stretching out endlessly behind her. The waves crash softly on the rocks and the sun rises over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the scene as Amina reflects on her journey through the sea's depths. Amina walks through a grassy plain, the soft glow of the seashell in her hand lighting her path as the boy walks beside her, listening intently. The village looms in the distance, and the golden light of the setting sun bathes the landscape in warmth and peace. Amina stands in the center of the village, holding the glowing seashell, before a crowd of villagers who listen with rapt attention. The soft light from the seashell illuminates her face as she recounts her journey through the sea and the wisdom she gained, the village bathed in the warm light of twilight. Amina and Nana sit quietly at the riverbank, the soft glow of the water reflecting the calm energy of their conversation. Nana speaks gently, her voice filled with wisdom as Amina listens, her face thoughtful and introspective. The river flows gently beside them, its surface shimmering in the late afternoon sun. Amina walks through the bustling village, her presence bringing a sense of calm and purpose. The villagers greet her with respect, their faces filled with admiration as they go about their daily tasks, the village thriving under Amina's guidance. The river flows gently in the background, a symbol of the village's harmonious connection with nature. Amina sits by the riverbank, surrounded by a group of curious children, her face glowing with warmth and joy as she shares stories of her journey with Mami Water and the sea spirit. The children's eyes are filled with wonder as they listen, the soft glow of the river reflecting their fascination. Amina stands at the river's edge, the early morning light casting a soft glow over the scene. The river flows gently, its waters shimmering with an otherworldly light as Amina prepares to step into the water, her face calm and accepting as she embraces the next phase of her journey. Amina steps into the river, her body glowing softly as the water flows around her. The river's gentle current embraces her, and her form begins to blend with the water as she becomes one with the flow, her face filled with peace and serenity as she takes her final step into the river's embrace. The village thrives, its people working in harmony with the land and the river. The water flows gently to the heart of the village, a symbol of life and balance. The villagers smile and laugh as they go about their tasks. The river's gentle presence a reminder of Amina's legacy and the peace she brought to their world. The villagers gather at the riverbank, their faces filled with reverence and gratitude as they offer thanks to the river for its life-giving waters. The river flows freely, its surface shimmering with energy and peace, a symbol of the village's respect for the natural world and the balance they have achieved. The young leader, once a boy touched by Mami Water's realm, now stands at the riverbank, gazing at the water with a deep sense of responsibility and reverence. His eyes reflect the wisdom and guidance passed down to him by Amina as he prepares to lead the village into a future of harmony and balance with nature. A young girl stands at the riverbank, gazing into the shimmering water with wide-eyed wonder. Her reflection glows faintly in the surface of the water, reminding the villagers of Amina's legacy and the wisdom she imparted. The river flows softly beside her, its presence a guiding force for the next generation. The villagers gather at the river's edge for a ceremonial offering, dressed in vibrant ceremonial robes as they stand in quiet reflection. The river flows gently beside them, glowing softly under the light of the setting sun, as they offer their gratitude to the spirits of nature and honor Amina's enduring legacy. The river flows gently, its soft song carrying on the breeze as a reminder of Amina's spirit and her connection to the natural world. The villagers gather at its banks, their expressions peaceful as they listen to the whispers of the river, knowing that Amina's wisdom continues to guide them toward harmony with nature. The village stands as a testament to Amina's legacy, with the people living in harmony with the land and the river. The water flows peacefully through the heart of the village, shimmering under the warm light of the sun as the villagers go about their daily lives, filled with peace and gratitude for the wisdom passed down through generations.